Hi, my name is Ricardo Affonso, and today I will talk about the Jericho Conquest in the book of Joshua. Jericho is one of the most famous biblical narratives because it was the scene of one of the largest and most common battles of the Hebrew people. Jericho was destroyed in an unusual way because instead of weapons, trumpets were used to destroy the fortified walls and conquer the territory. All began with a change in command among the Hebrew militias. Moses had passed away, and it was up to Joshua to lead the people on their way to the Promised Land. Their task was difficult, but he gladly accepted, becoming the new chief of the Hebrews in the difficult task of conquering Canaanite territory and its very fortified cities. In the first chapter of Joshua's book, it says that God encouraged him to face the dangers of conquest, promises that he would never forsake them, and showed the conditions that could lead to the victory. The people should trust in the God of Moses and demonstrate fidelity and obedience to his laws, especially the Ten Commandments that were revealed on Mount Sinai. The people were encamped near the Jordan, and this was a natural obstacle to the entry into the Canaan land. They should obligatorily cross to the conquered region. Joshua ordered the people to take provisions. For 3 days they would cross the river. On this route, he sent 2 spies to the city of Jericho in order to observe the region. By obeying Joshua's orders, the 2 men entered the gates as if they were ordinary men, and entered the house of a local prostitute named Rabi. They intended to stay there as they thought it was a more discreet place, usually frequented by people who were going to be there at night. However, the king of Jericho discovered their presence, and sent soldiers to the house of Rabi to arrest the 2 men. Rabi, contrary to common sense, hid the 2 spies. She knew in some way that their God would give her victory over the fortress. Her only request was that when they invade the city, they would spare her family. They accepted the agreement and hid. Taking advantage of the fact that her house was on the city walls, she herself helped them down a rope, giving them escape conditions to a safe place. When they returned to Joshua, the spies spoke all that they saw. And on the appointed day, the Israelites set up camp and marched toward the Jordan to take the city. The priests went forward carrying the Ark of the Ten Commandments, and as they entered the river, they perceived that the Jordan was dry, allowing them to pass. It was as if they relived the miracle of the Red Sea, witnessed by their fathers who had been 4 years before out the land of Egypt. After a brief stop at Gilgal, the troops finally marched toward Jericho. The fortresses were closed to protect themselves from the Israelite warriors, and there began perhaps one of the strangest war strategies of all time. God speaks to Joshua, giving them instructions on how he should proceed in conquering the city. Jericho should be surrounded for 6 days. 7 priests would carry 7 trumpets, and on the 7th day they would roll the city 7 times. On the 7th day, the priests would blow the trumpets as loud as they could, and when the people heard, they should shout, and so the wall would fall. According to the biblical history, that's exactly what happened. The walls came down with the sound produced by those noises. Rabi, of course, was spared along with her entire family, and the city completely destroyed by Joshua. Shofar was the instrument played by the Israelites for the taking of Israel, which was a Jewish trumpet made of sheep's horns. It was the kind of instrument that the priest had played in the conquest of Jericho. I would not know how to play, of course, and I think none of our classmates too. But for you to get a sense of the sound of the instrument, watch this video of a Jewish rabbi playing very well near from the walls of ancient Jerusalem.
لخين حارس عيد يموت أشتد بنروح الكل لا يكون رشع بمشبات فحتى إن بعد صديقين كي يدعي على نجر الصديقين بدار رشع تبد سنتين غمسة غلطات وحروت سنبل مديم تبريهم كمان يا بري آمين